Alright guys, we're out here on Lake of the Ozarks. Decided last minute to jump into this Toyota Series. It's the last one of the season. So made about a 16-hour drive yesterday, got up here. First morning out, been to Lake of the Ozarks one other time, but it was in the springtime. So probably be a completely different bite this go around. Mainly gonna be focusing on the many docks out here on Lake of the Ozarks and then also scanning for brush piles. So big player on the Ozarks is a jig. We got this epic tungsten jig right here, Guggen Kraken Cross. So that's what we're gonna start off with. We've got some Crocagator jigs as well. That's a big deal here on the Ozarks. So we are gonna be looking around. Ideally, I wanna scan for brush, but one of my units broke at the last tournament, so we've kind of got a setup here, but this graph doesn't link with the other one. So hoping that I get my other graph here before the tournament starts, but we're gonna have to kind of I don't know, this doesn't link, so whenever I find a brush pile I'm gonna have to find it with the live scope and just try to get close enough to fish it. But if we figure out they're on the brush, I can just scan for brush during practice and go back during the tournament. But definitely gonna mix in some dock skipping as well. That would probably be my preferred way of catching them, flipping, skipping docks, but the brush is definitely a big player this time of year. So we are gonna get to practicing. We got a couple brush piles out here on this point that I'm gonna cast at, a bunch of bait around, and see what we can do.
So all those are bass down there?
Oh, that I don't know. Probably a lot of white bass, I would guess. Those are all bass and there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
If you don't get bit like first or second cast, I don't think you're gonna get bit. Nah. Yeah. First cast on the drop shot. It looked like a couple of them followed it too. I mean, he'd be close to keep it. I think they gotta be 15 here. There's one. Oh, that's a big one. Ah, he's not that big. He took off. Did you hear my drag go when I set into him? I mean, that's not a bad one though. Two pounder. That's not a bad one. See, that's probably about a 15 or 16. Yeah, 15 and a half. I like the drop shot. They're all about 2 pounders. He's been eating good though. Oh, that's a fat one. That's a good one. Wonder if that one probably wouldn't be 15.
Midday lunch meet update.
Alright, it's 1 o'clock. Caught, I don't know, we've got a decent amount of fish. 1 3+ pounder, everything else has been like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, maybe 2 1/4, but it seems like we're onto something. They want to be on the brush piles around the docks. So we've just been kind of going to the backs of some of these coves or pockets, whatever you want to call them. And I'm just going back there and just live scoping around the docks, figuring out where some brush piles are. And it seems like if they're gonna bite it, it's pretty much first cast. So I think it's gonna be worth just going around looking for a bunch of brush piles, and the tournament, just pull up to them, throw a cast or 2 in there. If they don't bite it, then just move on to the next one. So that's probably what we're gonna do the remainder of today. Maybe mix in a few docks, but I think the brush will be a lot more high percentage than trying to fish 50 docks in each cove. So that's what we're gonna stick with for right now. And see if we can figure out a way to catch maybe a 4+ pounder. I feel like the jig is gonna be the way to do that. Drop shot gets bit, but I feel like the jig is probably gonna be the way to get a little bit better quality out of those brush piles. God, that might be a big one. Oh, he's not that big. It's a decent one. He started taking off with it under the dock. That might be a big one. Not a bad one. Alright guys, it is day 2 of practice here on the Ozarks. We're going to be doing some scanning today. So yesterday, most of the fish that I ended up catching were off of brush piles. So I think that's probably going to be the key this week. A couple off of docks, but mostly the brush. So we're going to be scanning quite a bit today and trying to locate as many brush piles as we can. Probably fish through a couple of them, but really just going to go through and try to mark a bunch. But we're supposed to get some thunderstorms here pretty shortly today, so not sure how long we'll actually have on the water today, but we'll keep you guys updated. If we do some fishing, we got the chesty on, so not sure how many fish I'll actually set the hook on, but that's the game plan for today. So stay tuned and keep figuring out how to catch these fish on Lake of the Ozarks.
See, this is what it's like to live out of your truck as an elite.
Pretty beautiful life we live. Drinking some old Diet Pepsi.
I got like 10 of them on my glide right now. They must be all small ones. Must be small ones. We're back out on the water. Been out for a little bit, but it was storming majority of the day, so got off the water a couple hours when it was actually thundering and lightning, then came back out. Still raining a bit, so we didn't have any of the cameras out, but you guys haven't really missed anything. The bite hasn't been that great today. Just caught I think we've actually only caught 1 or 2. Only one that was actually a keeper. Oop, here comes one after my drop shot. But we're out here on a point right now. A couple fish around, had some follow the glide bait. Ooh, did he get it? One just ate my drop. Nope, he dropped it. But anyways, we got a couple more hours out here left in the day. We're gonna see if we can figure out bite here, and then we'll have till 2 o'clock tomorrow to finalize things. But conditions for the tournament are gonna be completely different, so I think we're just gonna have to kind of figure them out as the tournament goes on. But just trying to get into some areas that I know has fish and then hit them up during the tournament. So see how the rest of the day goes. On points. Need to see if there's any big ones on the points today. That one would be a 15er. Long, skinny one.
Oh my. Bro, what?
God. Maybe that's the ticket. It's like a 3 something. Right at 3.
No, that's it?
Yeah.
They're on points.
Points.
They're on points.
Doubled up.
Doubled up.
They're eating on this point. Look how fat that one is. God, he choked it because he ate it while it was just sitting there while I was recording you.
That's sick. Mill, you want to start off the intro for us this morning?
Just kind of drop shot in one of my favorite spots on Lake of the Ozarks. It's somewhere I found last year. Mark told me I was allowed to fish it.
Secret spot.
Just kidding.
Oh, what's that, dude?
I'm gonna blame that on Christian's robo worm rigging. This thing looks like my little brother put it on there. I mean, what the? It's got a half bit head, a Texas rig top. Unreal.
Alright guys, on the water for day 3 of practice here on Lake of the Ozarks. Ended up catching them pretty decent yesterday afternoon, so probably gonna run that pattern a little bit more today. Run that and probably a couple other things, but we only have till 2 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier because we're gonna get some more storms today. But looking clear as of right now, so get out there. The fish are definitely biting. I mean, it seems like you can pretty much catch them any way you want to, so we're just gonna try to go figure out a few areas where we can get some bigger bites, hopefully. We got a guest on the boat. We got Mr. Sam with us today. He's fishing as a co-angler.
Morning, guys.
He's gonna practice with us for the day, but we're about to get out there and get going and try to see if we can't catch us a few. Stay tuned. Nah. It's gonna be hard to get over 10 pounds. I have to get like 2 big bites a day. They're down there, they're just being kind of finicky right now. That one probably wouldn't make the 15. That's a 14. Yep.
Was it?
14. I had a dream last night that I had some kind of like 2-day tournament on the Potomac. I was leading after day 1, and then I thought it was a 1 day or something, and then all of a sudden it was like a 2-day tournament, but the second day was a night tournament. And I thought it started at 7, but then I got there and the tournament had started at like 2 o'clock, so I was super late. But then
2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon?
2 in the afternoon. But then the tide was supposed to be perfect like right when I got there, so I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll catch him pretty quick with this tide. And I went to the mat where I'd been catching them, and the mat wasn't even there anymore.
Oh.
There's a keeper. Maybe. He might be a 15. It's probably right at 15. Nope. 14 3/4.
Midday update.
Well, it's been a lot slower today, size-wise. We've caught a ton of little guys out on those points, so figured after yesterday afternoon it kind of seemed like the deal, but after today it's not seeming that great. I think I can go around and probably catch a few keepers on them, but I don't think that's going to be the main deal. So probably just going to be running brush, running docks, running points. I think you're just going to kind of have to mix things up and hope you come across a few good ones throughout the course of the day, because you can go to a bunch of different areas and catch fish, but it's going to be all about getting those 3+ pounders. So I think it's just going to be kind of random on how you get them. So just covering a bunch of water, trying a bunch of different things. I think that's probably going to be the key. Got one. Spotted bass. Finally a keeper. It's like a 2-pounder. I don't know why it's taking so long to get a decent one. It's not even really what we need bigger. Alright guys, that does it for practice here on Lake of the Ozarks. Caught a bunch of fish during practice, but never really dialed in one pattern. So pretty much just gonna junk fish throughout the tournament, I think. We're gonna have completely different conditions also during the tournament. Sunny skies. Every day of practice was kind of overcast except for a little bit on the first day. So I have a feeling they'll be kind of tight to the brush, tight to docks. So gonna kind of mix in a couple different things between the brush, docks, maybe hit up a few points, but just really just try to fish for some keeper fish and hopefully run into a big one or two in the mix, because it's probably not going to take a whole lot of weight to do well in this tournament. Seems to be a lot of 14 and 15 inches biting. Somehow I can get lucky and get 2 big bites a day. I think that's what it's going to take. So just gonna have to fish hard all day, just fish what feels right and see what we can come up with. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Stay tuned for tournament footage coming up from Lake of the Ozarks.